Yeah, yes, sir. And you share your screen also.
Yes. So characteristics of a report. Report. Actually, it is a detailed and comprehensive note of a particular event, particular not only event, but particular projects, futuristic projects about solar projects, solar energy. Now there have to be some options for petrol and diesel. Now the price is reaching to the sky. We also, all the human people of Indian citizens of our India are wondering, increasing prices. So a report has to be possible upon these ideas that are touched by thousands of people. Detailed and comprehensive note, optimal in length, optimum optimal in length. It does not it should not be bulky like more than 50 pages. So optimal in length. It means accordingly the weightage of the topic. According to it, one has to length, one has to extend its length of a report. Then contains only relevant matter. It contains only relevant matter. Not irrelevant matter should not be there. Uses clear and concise language. It should use clear and concise language. Clarity should be there. Just sometime before we have seen report is written in order to read and ready it is read by someone else. Now, minor research project is also a report, and that has written that somebody has to read it and somebody has to implement some policies into the syllabus making of UG level. That is my topic I am discussing, role of mass media in developing English language proficiency. It's a minor research project report. Because a report is important. These are the characteristics. It should be clear and concise. It should have tables, some graphs should be used in order to say the validity or originality of the collected material with the help of Google Form or valid material is there, resources are used. So is logical in its arguments. Reports are often logical in its arguments. Arguments should be there, but it has to be logical. One should not argue for the sake of arguments. One should argue for logic. One should argue for faith. One should argue for transparency. One should argue for truthfulness, candidness. One should argue for such kind of things, not for the sake of arguments and for the sake of, you know, self boosting oneself. Argue. So, conclusions and recommendations. Always remember that there should be conclusions and recommendations should be there. That is the purpose of report. What are your findings? What are the conclusions? And the upcoming recommendations, what are they? One has to point out in the report. So we'll see some examples, newspaper reports or elements, headline, catchy line, it should be in a simple present tense, byline, some details, byline, who has written the newspaper report, byline, place, place line, Guhagar or Ratnagiri, Palgar, Vikramgarh. Okay, place line, place should be there, lead, concise information of the event, so and so, concise information, a guest lecture organized by. So concise information at the event body. This is the essence. This is the core of the newspaper report, where detailed analysis of the news is written. Then we have references or quotations from experts, statement of the eyewitnesses, experts has to be there. Then we have activity report or event report. Okay, summary. What is activity report or event report? It's the summary of activities conducted over a period of time. At the beginning, also, while we are dealing with activity report or event report, I told you, I think, rules of writing an activity or event report. What are the summary of the events? Suppose sport event is organized. Sport events, indoor games, outdoor games. So, 2, 3, 4 days are required in the college functions of the sports activities. Or residential camp of NSS unit. Some 1 week is required, expected. Summary of the event should be there. Step by step descriptions. Suppose NSS residential, the NSS activities are there. Residential camp is there. So one day, day one, what we have done. Day two, day three, day four, day five, and what is the conclusion? Elaborate on the given activity or experiments. Elaborate. They give some activities there. One has to elaborate it. One has to explain it so that readers can understand. Okay, we know some activities organized by our college. Teachers know, students know, but reports are written in order to understand by the audience or by the readers. That has to keep in mind procedural narratives in details, theory or law used, clear observations has to be there, conclusions and recommendations based on the analysis has to be there. I am unable to go to the next slide. I will stop the share and I will once again. Activity report, we are refresh once again.
What happens, sir? Sometimes it doesn't support. Yes.
Slides are not supporting because it is not okay. We will manage. We'll make
Yes,
it
sir,
bigger.
yes,
And now it's the concluding parts we are shifting towards. The creative writings or creative writing, not creative writing, personal essays you have, personal essays that requires self, some 2, 3, within 10 minutes, I will conclude. Self disclosure means voluntarily you have to explain what you are thinking, what you are, what do you want to explain, what do you want to express in your personal essays. Self disclosure, honesty, truth, universal theme, and it should conclude with the major points. If personal essays, they have autobiographical in tone. Autobiographical means one can dictate, one can explain one's own events in the personal essay. Communication skill is also evaluated. Turning points, illness, or something memorable, one can note down in the personal essays. Personal essays. They are because they are personal. Where personal touch or personal preoccupations or personal feelings about any sudden events that have changed our life. Turning points are there. We say often read the essays of various authors, personal essays. Not essay, but the talk, the convocation speech of eminent personalities. It is also an essay. They put forth their ideas. Convocation address of Steve Jobs, convocation address of uh, eminent personalities. We can learn many things. It is a sort of essay where they can express their autobiographical, about their own life. Then we have memo, that is non-fiction narrative, writing based on the author's personal memories is called memoirs. Suppose I will tell you the cake is there. Okay, very nice. Cake, example of a cake, and we don't consume entire cake. We just cut it and we just uh, eat that part of the cake. The memory is like this. The life is there, but some events of one's author's life is written candidly. Kamala Das, My Story is a memoir. Autobiographical is it is autobiographical, but it is not the entire autobiography of the author. It is the part that has given or reshaped one's life is dictated in the memoir. So certain periods of time, unlike autobiography. So Barack Obama's Dreams from My Father is the memoir. Sanjay Baru's Accidental Prime Minister, it is subjective because emotional touch is there, and the example that I told you about cake. So short speech on an occasion or at an event, short speech, it provides an opportunity to connect with your audience at a personal level. Speech of introduction, speech of presentations for achievements or felicitation ceremony. So short speech of 5 minutes or 4 minutes. Farewell speech is there where we are not expected to speak for more than 1 hour or more than 2 hours. Farewell speech, it is a short speech or motivational speech is there. So one has to motivate to the others about one's life by narrating about one's life events. Motivational speech, okay, Shiv Khera, motivational speaker. Many Robin Sharma, many more people, they have their short speech, then 10 minutes or few, hours, 1 hour, short speech is there. So story writing. On our social media platforms also, some stories, when we have enrolled the name on some Facebook or some platform, story writing, story, how the events are narrated, how one event is thread, how the story is revolves around the one thread of the events. Crises are there, crisis, some sudden events are there that change the life. Exciting sections are there in the story writing. You should write some stories. Whenever we'll have idea, we can give, we can reshape it, we can nurture and nourish our own thoughts, thinking, and we also can write poems. I have also habituated with the writing poems about smaller events. The same thing can be utilized. This is a part of your creativity. In poems also, you narrate about one character of friends. Okay, in William Shakespeare sonnets. Okay, this is not a story, but narration is there, where he addressed to his friend and the black lady. So exciting sections are there, good dialogues, and lots of rewriting. It requires you have to write again and again and again and again. So unique voice in story, you will get your unique voice. That world will listen your voice. Some tips are there, like exciting title. Title should be, exciting one. Smooth plots, accurate facts, and avoid flowery language. Unnecessary bombastic language is avoided. So, story writing, short speech, memoir, we have completed it. It's working now. Fortune favors the brave. Some parts it not working. Okay, but okay, creative writing, personal essays, memoir, non-fiction, short speech. Short speech, it is like elevator speech, short speech. You should connect the ideas we have listened. Short speech is there, story writing, and I told you that writing stories will make you aware about our life, about some events in our life, story of my marriage. Okay, so story you should write upon various events that you have come across. Now, if you have any questions, please you can ask me. Before it, I will tell you tentative question paper format, duration 3 hours, total marks are 80. MCQ questions, they are from all units. Short notes, Bansode sir will also tell you in the classroom, 2 out of 4 has to be asked, that carries 10 marks, all units. Short notes, reading comprehension for you have Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam's passage is there, work is solace. It's a wonderful passage where he talks about the flow of our thoughts. In this guest lecture, I forget myself. That is the flow that Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam talks about in the passage. Now, passage number 1 in the book, you can read once, you can read it and you can revisit his ideas, the flow of work. Okay, then attempt any 2 out of 3 for 10 marks, that is skit, interview, and group discussions. Skit or situation is given, interviews, situation is given in the question paper, or group discussions. Group A, participants A, B, C, how ideas are extended. You should write it down. Attempt any 2 out of 3 for 10 marks, that is report writing, memoir, short speech, story writing, and personal essays are there. So internal evaluations. These questions carry for 80 marks. Question paper format, duration 3 hours, and 20 marks you have for performance and tutorial activities. Performance and tutorial activities like projects you have, they are for 10 marks. Then participation in classes, 5 marks. Overall, your attendance, 5 marks in the classroom. And learners may be asked to participate in group discussions or mock interviews in class, which will be assessed. And for that purpose, just a minute, for that purpose, I will, there is one syllabus that I will also send, sir, to you, and web resources links are there, that eminent personalities speeches and links are there that I have forwarded to you, and please forward to all the students, and on the basis of these YouTubes that are designed for our syllabus purpose, and in they are there in our syllabus itself. So we can give to all the students, we can send the links in our syllabus, syllabus browser itself of the University of Mumbai, and we can tell the topics to write it about the speech of Kiran Bedi, or interview of Kiran Bedi with, who has conducted the interview of Jamshedji JRD Tata, interview of Ratan Tata, personalities are there. So in the only in that way students can listen, they can watch, and they can write. This also can be done for internal evaluations also. Then some sources I have used for making these PPTs. And if there are any questions and suggestions, please feel free to.
You are requested to ask questions if any, if you have asking.
Around 11:20 we have started, so 20 minutes are.
I think yeah, We have completed it in 2 hours, as you have told us. विद्यार्थी मित्रांनो, काय प्रश्न आहेत का? काय प्रश्न असेल तर विचारायचा आहे. नसेल तर we will continue there. Yes, sir. There may be questions from the students.
Sir, I sent you link syllabus on your WhatsApp, so you can circulate among the students.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Today itself, I will circulate it.
And these links are not in a green. Occasionally, we have in a green. Green title is there. It is in a blue itself. It is in black.
Yeah,
black. So one can just click it on. I also was wondering why they are not there in the blue light.
Yes, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We will do, sir.
Please ask some questions. Today is a really wonderful day for me because I have interacted my few words, some ideas, because of Bansode sir has given me an opportunity to express myself, and because of this I have prepared all these slides. I tried my best to explain, reflect myself. One has to reflect ourselves, and one should use the opportunities which comes with the course of time. Please,
Yes,
students, please. Any questions are there? You also can ask any questions.
विद्यार्थी मित्रांनो, काय प्रश्न आहेत का? विचारायचा आहे.
Some suggestions, if you have any suggestions, you can tell me. I will write it down. And after this lecture, sir, I will send you a feedback link, sir. Feedback link. Okay. I will send you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And all the students are requested to fill the feedback form. Means whether you like, so what is your perceptions or any suggestions. If you have, you can write it down. Some only 8 or 9, 10 questions are there. I will immediately after this session, I will send to you, sir. Please circulate among the students, and for that, please give. I think you have given me your college name. I think yes, you have sent me. Yeah. Yes. I will put the college name in the front of that Google form, feedback form link.
Yes, sir.
Okay, college name is there. Sir, Onde is the taluka. Is the name of village?
Yeah, Onde is the village name where the college is.
Okay, and from Thane, how many kilometers?
It is 60 kilometers away from Bosa.
So
Yes.
I really thank you all of you for attending this session. Thanks for my patient listening. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, please once again.
So it is our duty and privilege to express this deep sense of gratitude towards the chief guest on this occasion, who has addressed the students and talked about the entire syllabus of this communication skills in English, paper 2, especially for semester 2, which the students are going to face the examination physically. So the Department of English thought it is very important and seminal for conducting a guest lecture for this paper especially, so that the student will get benefited a lot from it. So my dear friend, you might have listened and you might have taken some notes from the talk of Dr. Rameshwar sir, who sir has explained you each and everything from unit 1 to unit 4. Actually, sir, unit 4 is untaught. Still, I'm going to deal with it. I will complete it by the end of this month. So, it is our duty and privilege to express thankfulness to you on behalf of the institution, college, and Department of English. Sir, you have given much of time as you have told that in spite of your child is not well, actually, nevertheless you have spent much of time with us with your uh, expertise in this paper, and you worked on that on the draft of this paper, and therefore it is it was my intention to connect you and the student, and so you have delivered your talk in a good fashion, and so on this occasion, I extend my thankfulness to the principal of our college, Dr. Yogesh Patil sir, for his support to conduct this program. I also extend my thankfulness to the director of the institution and the head of the Department of Chemistry, Honorable Dr. Chetna Patil ma'am. I extend my thankfulness to the vice principal of our college, Honorable Dr. Sonone sir, for supporting to organize this event. And very important part of this program is that you have remained present, sir, for this talk, for this address. So from the heart of hearts, I thank you a lot on behalf of the institution, college, and the Department of English for being present and addressing all the students in a very good fashion. And I hope and I strongly believe that my students will get benefited from it. Thank you once again. And
Sir, just a minute. I will get printouts. I mean screenshots. Just
yes,
a minute.
yes, yes.
Yes, please.